Всем привет, с вами Дарк, Ветон на канале Ветон Games. Сейчас начнем проходить квестик. Небольшой такой, интересный про девочку с маниакальным карамоликом. Кто-то заходите на стрим, ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь. Сейчас пару минут я настрою все и начнем. Сразу скажу, игры будут проходить впервые. Кто-то загадки будем отгадывать вместе. Заходите на стрим, ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь. Ну, мы начинаем.
It seems like you need to be solaced, telling from the scratch on your knee. You fell and got hurt in the process, and now you come crying to me. I catered for these circumstances, and hands carry needle and stitch in my pants. Don't worry, my dear, there is nothing to fear. Just a stitch and a sew, soon it's almost as new. And the cut will adhere after all. You have to admit it is not as severe. Oh, I have needle and stitch right here. Take care or you'll end up scarred, my dear. I can't stand to watch children bleed. Well, don't give me that kind of look now. Just keep going on, soon you will see how everything will end well, though it still may depend on your skill. I catered for these circumstances, and hands carry needle and stitch in my pants. But yet needle and thread can bear dangers instead if you're clumsy and
Hello, dear friends of adventure games. The spyware we installed on your computers tells me that many children are sitting at their screens again tonight. That's why I'll refrain from telling you the story that I had actually prepared for you. Of course, that's a real shame. It would have been such a good story.
Entertaining explosions, a giant robotic opossum.
But also with many offensive expressions and an inordinate amount of excessive violence. The story that I'll tell you instead has a slightly different flavor. It's about Lily, the most virtuous child in the entire world. And it begins in the courtyard of a small, sleepy convent school.
Not too far from the place where the giant robotic opossum is sucking the brains of innocent bystanders out through their eye sockets.
But enough of that. It's a beautiful, sunny day. And Lily is raking the leaves in the yard with a cheery tune on her lips.
Lily, how many times do I have to tell you not to sing while working? You know very well that I hate the sound of cheerful children. These children are driving me crazy.
Oh, there you are. Is that Moloch making you rake leaves again?
Uh-huh.
Tuh, how boring. And so unnecessary, too. The leaves all drift back onto the path anyway. You should just come with me instead. I'm on a treasure hunt right now, you know? Well, it's your decision. You can always come to the swing tree later when you're done here. I think I found something in the flower beds over there. Until then, see ya!
What's that noise outside? It's unbearable! Lily, now I've had it up to here. I guess I overestimated you once again. You're not even fit to rake leaves. It doesn't matter. I have 2 new tasks for you. The flower beds in the backyard have to be dug up again. Can you manage that? Uh-huh. I doubt it, but we'll see. And while you're in the backyard, the swing tree is infested by termites. Come up with something to get rid of them for good. So, one more time, for the really clueless. First, dig up the flower beds. Second, get rid of the termites infesting swing tree. You'll be very sorry if you don't do a good job.
The yard waste was rotting away leisurely in the composting bin. A paradise for maggots and spiders. Lily couldn't stop watching the fascinating activity in there. It was too bad for the compost. The tire swing was dangling invitingly above the chasm from a termite-eaten branch. It was hopeless. The tire swing was hanging so far away and seemed so unreachable that Lily thought she could almost see her popularity outlined behind it. Lily would have loved to have played on the completely harmless tire swing. That's why she immediately climbed on the termite-infested tree. At least she would have done that, but apparently she preferred the risk of getting into deep trouble as soon as the players signed off. The yard waste was rotting away leisurely in the composting bin. A paradise for maggots and spiders. Lily couldn't stop watching the fascinating activity in there. It was too bad. Lily quickly realized that she would never get rid of the termites like this. She needed a better plan.
What do you have there? A rake?
Uh-huh.
I know you mean well, but I'm afraid that won't help us here. We'll never dig up the treasure without a shovel.
Edna was Lily's best friend. She always knew how to cheer up Lily. For example, by sabotaging the brakes on the mailman's bicycle.
Don't bother, Lily. We'll never dig up the treasure without a shovel.
Where could the hose lead to? It was still a mystery what the hose could be used for. Lily didn't have to play with the bush. She had lots of other friends. Edna and, oh well, mainly Edna. Lily would have also made a good bush. She could stand on the sidelines for hours without anyone noticing her. Lily was excited. Where could the hose lead to? What a surprise! The hose led to a thing. In Lily's experience, everything in the world could be divided into things that had to be pumped and things that didn't have to be pumped. This fell into the second category.
Lily, turn that off immediately.
The hose should only be used with the lawn sprinkler. Lily wasn't even allowed to drink from it, no matter how thirsty she was. The cellar door could only be opened with the correct key.
Lily, turn that off immediately.
Too bad. The faucet was dry. Lily didn't have to clean her tool now. brush was lying on the shelf directly below the window. Lily just had to reach out. Digested grass, rat, pigeon. Lily assumed these cans were meant for the cafeteria. The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short. A shovel! That's exactly what Lily needed, but she'd never get to it from here. Lily knew that this device was called an air hammer, but she didn't know why anyone would want to hammer air. The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short. Even if Mother Superior had no faith in her, Lily knew how to use a garden hose. And definitely not like that.
Hey, get lost! Go find another place to play.
How sweet. Apparently Freeman was worried about Lily.
Hey, get lost! Go find another place to play.
How sweet. Apparently Freeman was worried about Lily. Maybe he wanted to make sure she wouldn't fall into the well.
No thanks. I can do it myself. Hey, get lost! Go find another place to play.
How sweet. Apparently Freeman was worried about Lily. Lily wasn't allowed into the convent until the gardening had been done. Hopefully it wouldn't start hailing again. Lily wasn't allowed into the convent until the gardening had been done. Hopefully it wouldn't start hailing again. Lily wasn't allowed into the convent until the gardening had been done. Hopefully it wouldn't start hailing again. Lily quickly realized that she would never get rid of the termites like this. She needed a better plan. It was too bad for the compost. The yard waste was apparently Lily. The swing tree was crawling with termites. Why did Mother Superior dislike these cute little animals so much?
Don't bother, Lily. We'll never dig up the treasure without a shovel.
It was the tired. This hadn't been very effective, but Lily still felt that she had gotten much closer to her goal. This hadn't been very effective, but Lily still felt that she had gotten much closer to her goal. This hadn't been very effective, but Lily still felt that she had gotten much closer to her goal. Mother Superior didn't allow Lily to paint her things in bright colors. Since then, she only painted in black. Luckily, that was tolerated. This hadn't been very effective, but Lily still felt that she had gotten much closer to her goal. This hadn't been very effective. This hadn't been very effective. Too bad. The faucet was dry.
Ой.
Lily, turn that off immediately.
In Lily's experience, everything in the world could be divided into things that had to be pumped and things that didn't have to be pumped. This fell into the second category. Even if Mother Superior had no faith in her, Lily knew how to use a garden hose. And definitely not like that. Lily liked bees. Their buzzing was so sweet, and they were always so busy collecting honey. And if you look closely, you could even see their stingers twinkle cheerfully in the sunlight. The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short. The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short.
Hey, get lost! Go find another place to play.
How sweet. Apparently, Freeman was worried about Lily. Maybe he wanted to make sure she wouldn't fall into the well. The well was deep. No place for a good girl like Lily to play. Lily wasn't allowed into the convent until the gardening had been done. Hopefully, it wouldn't start hailing again. Too bad. The faucet was dry. The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short.
Hey, get lost! Go find another place to play.
How sweet. Apparently, Freeman was worried about Lily. Maybe he wanted to make sure she wouldn't fall into the well.
Hey, get lost! Go.
How sweet. The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short. The narrator was slowly losing interest in coming up with motives for Lily's action. The truth of the matter was, no one knew what she was doing and why.
Hey, get lost! Go find another place to play.
How sweet. Apparently, Freeman was worried about Lily. Maybe he wanted to make sure she wouldn't fall into the well.
Альбошку будем вместе.
The well was deep. No place for a good girl like Lily to play. Lily's fellow student Freeman was bent over the edge of the well. If he moved forward just a little more, he'd fall in, just like in Lily's favorite book.
Oh, Lily. I thought somebody was there. Don't bug me. I'm busy. Didn't I tell you to leave me alone? I'm trying to concentrate, okay? Something is down there in the well. I can see something sparkling. Oh man, I hope it's the key to the cellar. That would be so gumbo. Let me guess. You don't know what gumbo is, right? Oh, Lily, you're just hopelessly square. Guys as cool as me say that's totally gumbo. Or, that gumbos. But you're just lame, totally ungumbo. Really, Lily, stop talking so much. Unless, of course, you have an idea how I can get the cellar key. Just think of all the things I could do with it. I hear that awesome stuff is stored down there. Not just junk like shovels and brushes and all that. I'm talking about real treasures. You can blab as much as you want. My complete attention is focused on the cellar key at the bottom of the well. I hear that awesome stuff is stored down there. Is this gonna be another one of your lectures about law and order at the convent? I'm so interested. We're not allowed in the cellar. Jeez, Lily, you're like a broken record. We can't do this. We can't do that. Don't drink motor oil. Don't play with the electrical sockets. You really know how to spoil all the fun. No wonder no one likes you. What now? Can't you see I'm busy with the well? Or did your oh-so-great Mother Superior forbid that too? Oh yeah? That just proves how absurd adults' rules are. What, you're still here? Don't creep around like that. I almost fell in the well from fright.
Huh?
Oh, how cute. Are you worried about me now, or what? Don't worry, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna climb down into the well. But not because Mother Superior has forbidden it, just because it really is too dangerous. Although... What? I know that Mother Superior doesn't want us climbing into the well. Why don't you tell someone who cares? On the contrary, that's almost an incentive. I'd do almost anything to avoid becoming such a conformist little robot like you. I said get lost. It's none of your business what I'm doing here. I said get lost. It's none of your business what I'm doing here. You can blab as much as my complete... I hear that awesome stuff.
Lily's fellow student Freeman was bent over the edge of the well. If he moved forward just a little more, he'd fall in, just like in Lily's favorite book.
No thanks. I can do it myself.
The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short. Lily liked bees. Their buzzing was so sweet, and they were always so busy collecting honey. And if you look closely, you could even see their stingers twinkle cheerfully in the sunlight.
Hey, get lost. Go find another place to play.
How sweet. Apparently, Freeman was worried about Lily. When Lily returned to the well, Freeman was gone. The idea was good. The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short.
Oh! Ah! What's going on? Lily, no! Go away! Go away! I'm allergic!
Oh no. Clumsy Lily had actually dropped the bee's nest into the well. The bees didn't like it too much either. Their buzzing sounded different than usual.
Completely lost your mind? Turn that off immediately. But did I not tell you exactly what you should be doing? I just can't believe you keep finding new ways to disappoint me.
Lily didn't understand what she had done wrong. But then she remembered her recent scolding at the cafeteria. She needed a better plan. Lily thought about collecting the honey with her bare hands. But then she remembered her recent scolding at the cafeteria. She needed a better plan.
Lily, thanks a lot for your great help. You really did a fantastic job. If I can ever help you... Oh, you want the cellar key, but of course not. What in the world are you thinking? You're the one who got me to go into the well. It's your fault that I fell in. But instead of helping me get out, you throw a beehive on my head and nearly drown me. Look at me. I'm wet, covered in bee stings, and smeared from head to toe with honey. I know everyone thinks you're sweet and harmless, but you're actually a walking disaster. You can definitely forget about the key. You keep away from me.
The compost bin was the ideal place to move the termites to. Lily started right away. So far, the plan had worked well. Maybe a little too well. The termites were now following Lily's spilled honey back into the courtyard.
No, don't! Get away!
Strange sounds were drifting towards her from over there. It was probably the termites celebrating their new home. Freeman had now left for good, but at least the termites had found a new home on the bench. And as if that weren't reason enough to be happy, they had been joined by one of those funny gnomes that Lily sometimes saw around. Freeman had left the cellar key for Lily. How nice of him. The cellar door could only be opened with the correct key. The cellar door could only be opened with the correct key. Mother Superior had strictly forbidden the children from playing in the cellar. On the other hand, Lily had a task to finish. Digested grass, rat, pigeon. Lily assumed these cans were meant for the cafeteria. Lily got along great with Doris, the lunch lady. That's why she knew Doris would start throwing knives if anyone messed up her pantry. Lily got along great with Doris, the lunch lady. That's why she knew Doris would start throwing knives if anyone messed up her pantry. Lily knew she wasn't supposed to play with her food. Food was such a sore loser. And when it started acting up, Lily would get scared. Lily knew that this device was called an air hammer, but she didn't know why anyone would want to hammer air. Today was Lily's lucky day. She hadn't found so many new toys in a very long time. A shovel! That's exactly what Lily needed. Lily got along great with Doris, the lunch lady. That's why she knew Doris would start throwing knives if anyone messed up her pantry. The stove was black and empty, just like the mirror that always appeared in Lily's dreams. There were those voices again, ordering Lily to burn her stuff. Too bad there was no fire in the stove.
Don't bother, Lily. We'll never dig up the treasure without a shovel. Hey, Lily! Did you finally get out of doing your stupid raking chore?
Uh-huh.
Very good. Then you finally got time to go treasure hunting with me?
Uh-uh.
What? Did you get even more chores to do?
Uh-huh.
That's so unfair. But maybe we can still find a way for you to help me. That would be cool. I'm sure you're dying to know how the treasure hunting's going, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, to be honest, not so great. The ground is just too hard. I doubt I'll be able to find anything here without a shovel. But I already have lots of cool dirt under my fingernails, and I even swallowed a slug by accident. A small consolation from Mother Nature. What do you have to do for Mother Superior now? Don't tell me you have to scrape off her warts with a pumice stone again. I'm still finding crumbs in our bunk from last time. She told you to get rid of the termites on the swing tree, right?
Uh-huh.
It was just a question of time. Does she even realize how hard it was to collect them all? I even broke into the firefighters museum to get the large red ones. And then all the trouble I went to teaching them tricks. They can already do a polonaise if you lay a trail of jelly. I wanted to teach them the cha-cha next. What the hell? Maybe you can relocate them instead of blasting them out, or whatever else it was you had planned. I'd even help you, but I've run out of jelly. Wait, Lily. This is an especially hard spot. Oh, what a drag. This is ruining all my calluses. And it took me so long to nurture them. These flower beds could really use some digging.
Uh-huh.
Don't tell me that's exactly what Mother Superior ordered you to do.
Uh-huh.
But that's fabulous. Then you'll be able to help me dig up the treasure after all. You don't even have a choice. You've been kind of told to by the Lord. All we still need is a shovel. Are you still worried about the termites? I'd really love to help you, but unfortunately, I don't have any more jelly to lure the little darlings someplace else. But when we've found the treasure, we can buy ourselves a whole jelly factory, or even better, a honey farm. I think honey is much cooler than jelly anyway. It sticks to the bottoms of your shoes better, and if we had a honey farm, we could also train the bees. Maybe there's still a chance for my project, peepholes for the Great Wall of China, after all. The shovel, Lily. We'll never dig up the treasure without a shovel. I don't know where we can find a shovel either. I'd imagine they're kept in the cellar. Now we just need to find a way to get down into the cellar. You can't walk through walls by any chance, can you? We really have to teach you how to do that one of these days. But first, you should concentrate on the shovel. It has top priority. Mother Superior is having a bad day again, isn't she? That wasn't hard to guess. The last good day she had was when everyone got mumps. I've rarely heard her laugh so hard. Don't let her annoy you too much, okay? Hey, Lily, what's new? Yay! You found a shovel! Oh, Lily, you're the best! Let's not waste any time and dig up the treasure.
And Edna and Lily began digging out what they thought was a treasure chest.
That's quite a treasure chest. It looks like it might have belonged to some space pirates once. So what? They were space pirates from World War II. Who cares? What's more important is that they left us their treasure. Come on, let's open it. I'm so excited.
Edna was Lily's best friend. She always knew how to cheer up Lily. For example, by sabotaging the brakes on the mailman's bicycle.
Not me, the treasure chest.
A real treasure chest. It was hard to tell, but Lily was actually speechless.
That's not gonna work. Once again, more proof that the bad reputation raw violence has is completely undeserved. Here, we certainly won't get far without it. Yippee! You did it! And what's that supposed to be? Those space pirates must have led a pretty miserable life if this was their most precious treasure. Well, at least we have a fabulous chest, and I already have an idea what we can do with it. We'll bury our own treasure. Do you have anything on you? Some wool from embroidery class? Wow, that's perfect! Our friendship ribbon, the string that ties us both together, so to speak. Come on, put it in there. Now we just have to bury the chest again and...
Lily! Where did that brat disappear to now? Lily!
That's Mother Superior. What does she want now? We should check before she explodes. You have to be careful, you know?
That took much too long for my liking. Is everyone finally here?
Freeman is missing, Mother Superior.
Say nothing more! Your lack of discipline has reached a level that I can no longer tolerate. From now on, all games on the convent grounds are forbidden. And until further notice, there will be no more dessert, and bedtime will be moved up by an hour. And in case you're wondering, it is the bad behavior of one specific student that has led me to take these measures. In my helplessness, I even decided to call on an expert for help. He's a renowned psychologist who will restore discipline and order here in the convent. The examination will take place this evening. The doctor will drive the mischief out of you once and for all. And I can guarantee this much. It won't be a pleasant experience.
A psychological examination? Oh, Lily, I'm sure this is all about me. I desperately need a plan. Meet me near the beds. I'll need your help.
You have the rest of the day off to think about what you've done wrong. I'd better not hear that you've used the time to create more mischief. And, Lily, I'm expecting you in my office now. I'm very disappointed in you, Lily. Can you ever do anything right? Not another word. Your constant excuses just make me even angrier. And now just don't stand around like an idiot. Well, get a move on. Feed the cat. Can't you see how emaciated Lumpy has gotten again? Oh, stupid child! Stop dawdling. Feed the cat. Is that really so hard to understand? Feed the cat. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Lily didn't think that Lumpy would eat it.
Woohoo!
Either there was a picture missing here, or there was one too many hooks. Either there was a picture missing here, or there was one too many hooks. Lumpy's bowl was nicely decorated. Life as Mother Superior's pet was probably wonderful and fulfilling.
Hey, where are you going? Feed the cat. Stop! What on earth are you doing? Bad, Lily. Very, very bad. You should really know that Lumpy doesn't eat regular cat food. But you've disappointed me for the last time. Here's the recipe for the right cat food. Bring it to Doris, the lunch lady. It contains exact instructions for preparing Lumpy's food. Doris can also find my lunch order for today on there too. Do you understand? Uh-huh. And now, get out. I have to prepare for Dr. Marcel's arrival. I'm hoping that his new method of correcting character flaws will save me this kind of trouble in the future.
Lily felt miserable. Maybe Mother Superior was right, and this character correction would make everything better. The thought made Lily shudder. She had heard stories about Dr. Marcel. Dreadful stories. She should tell Edna the news.
Dr. Marcel, you say? This confirms my worst suspicions. The doctor and I still have an old score to settle. I'm sure he's coming because of me. Lily, I can't stay here any longer. I'm going to leave the convent and go into hiding for a while. There's just one catch. That guy Garrett, who's constantly lurking around. I think he's spying on us for Mother Superior. So long as he keeps poking his nose into everything, I can't move freely. Do you think you can find a way to keep him off me for a while? Uh-huh. Oh, Lily, you're such a gem. What would I do without you?
Lily had never seen Edna so worried. Not even the night that she set fire to the vestry. Lily's embroideries were useless. Mother Superior had said that more than once.
Why are you gawking at my hairdo? Don't tell me you've got your eye on my original Marushu Naoki hairpin. Can you believe it, Shy?
Don't believe. Just know. The warriors of light see with the power of love.
Just who does she think she is? Hiroyoshi Superfrog's arch enemy Soki Nuroshi Mayayoki Hagatsu?
Down with the dark forces. Trust in the elf magic of the glitter dust.
Exactly. Everyone knows that a real Shibuya girl will only part with her hairpin if it's a real emergency, and only if facing death.
Muroshi Sparkle. Mystical spirit of the wolf.
Mystical spirit of the wolf.
Kamanukri. Shing.
And anyway, what even makes you think we'll let you have any of our personal things? You haven't launched any radical paramilitary campaigns or done anything to help destroy the state.
We can't let the dark forces win.
Plus, you've never helped us destroy the school.
Does being warriors of the light really mean we have to destroy the school? It seems a little too hardcore to me.
But Riot Girl does it too! On page 31 in volume 453, she puts one of Nagayuzu's detonators in the teacher's lounge when the dark forces kidnap Musushi Rainbow. Shibuya is cool! Miyarushi Sparkle!
Oh.
Shibuya power!
Shibuya power!
Girl, you're so clueless about trends. Just look at how you dress. Don't you know that Shibuya and only Shibuya is hot right now? Where's your glitter? Where are your Japanese accessories? Miyarushi Sparkle!
Muroshi Sparkle! Shing! Shing!
Oh man, you're really out of it, Lily.
Garrett was already there. Lily watched how her slippery fellow student disappeared into the chapel. After him! The chandelier was dangling out of reach on a chain, going all the way to the tower. This always made the children want to swing from it without ever being able to. Lily had always liked the large painting in the main hall. It showed a dining table after a big meal, with a man in the center who had found the last cookie. Lily giggled at the thought that he would eat it all by himself, no matter how much the others begged.
Who do we have here, then? Creepy Lily. How did it go with Mother Superior?
Leave her alone, Shawnee.
Only if she admits that all this trouble is her fault.
We're not getting any dessert?
That's right, Memphis. And we can't play outside anymore either.
Is it asking too much to want to know why?
Stop picking on her. You don't really think that Lily, of all people, has done something wrong, do you? She's just not cool enough for that.
Exactly. She's such a good girl. She rakes, she cleans, she cooks. It's disgusting and dangerous because somehow it always ends in a disaster. Isn't that right, Lily? Ever since you came to the convent, it's been one strange accident after another.
I hardly dare get out of bed anymore.
But none of this is your fault, is it? After all, you only do what you're told. I'm sure you're even running an errand for Mother Superior right now. Let's see what you've got there.
Shawnee!
Aha! I knew it! A recipe from Mother Superior. Well, I think I'll hold on to it for now. Let's see how Mother Superior likes having to wait for her food. And this time, our sweet Lily can face the music all by herself. Let's go, guys. We're off.
You're impossible.
What's this? Where had Garrett gone? The chapel didn't have a second exit.
Wait. No, nothing. I thought I detected a resonance echo in the floor. And where there's a resonance echo in a floor, the hollow space can't be far. A crypt. Or a hidden pool salon for Templars with outrageously hip hairstyles.
What?
Your question is completely justified. What would Templars be doing in a pool salon? It's just one of the countless mysteries surrounding the Templars. Where did they come from? Where did they go? Did they get a group discount ticket for their journey? And who was their hairstylist? There is just one answer to all these questions. The Great Church Conspiracy. And we can be certain that the evidence is buried beneath these stone slabs. If only I had the right tool to dig it up. Find it. Shh, for a second. Oh, great. If there's just been a landslide in the Templar's subterranean crypt, then now I've missed it. How the hell are you supposed to uncover church conspiracies if you keep getting interrupted? Just the constant stream of people going to confession is getting on my nerves. But compared to you, they're as quiet as church mice. I have no idea who they are. They creep into the confession booth and only come out when it gets too noisy for them. All that will be over with as soon as I have the right tool for my excavation anyway. Sorry, Lily, but I'm just not interested in small talk. All I care about are church conspiracies. There's a lot to talk about there, but unfortunately, most of it's secret. And without the right tool, I won't be able to uncover the secret. So either you go and get me the tool I need, or you just leave. That would be fine with me too. Shh! You're destroying the holy illuminescence of the stone slabs. And if they lose their illuminescence, they certainly won't be in the mood to reveal their secret anymore. And there's no doubt that they have a secret. I know Templar symbols when I see them. Where there are Templars, a secret crypt with details on church conspiracies can't be far. If only I had the right tool to drill them out. Then, all I'd need to know is which slab to drill under to get my hands on the church conspiracy. If it's one that has a neck, because there are those with a neck and those without.
Lily was impressed. Everything Frank said made sense.
Stop! Don't move! No. False alarm. I thought I felt a draft. I'm convinced that there are telltale drafts over here. A clear indication of a church conspiracy. Directly beneath our feet. Only I had the right tool to air them. Vent them. Ah, very good. That's exactly what I need. Now, if I only knew where to drill. But such knowledge was probably lost long ago. No one is old enough to still remember the age of the Templars. Otherwise, I'm sure I'd have long since had that church conspiracy by the scruff of its neck. Oh well, I'll just start.
Damn, how am I supposed to work with all this noise? Hey, Frank! Frank! Ah, what the hell?
Lily spent a lot of time in the confession booth. Only she knew what she mumbled during those long hours. At least ever since the father who took her confessions had died of a heart attack.
Damn, how am I supposed to work with all this noise? Hey, Frank! Frank! Ah, what the hell?
Lily had to confess that she was once again completely lost. Lily had to confess that she was once again... I'd like to be able to say that Lily had a plan. that she was thinking about luring Garrett into the confession booth and locking it shut with a bar. But Lily was just thinking about ponies. A surveillance room. That was the hard evidence that Garrett was spying for Mother Superior. Lily wasn't allowed to play with the things she found in the chapel, but that didn't matter. She also had fun just looking at the board.
And? Are you making progress? Before you say anything, I thought of something else. I think Garrett has a secret hiding place in the chapel. Yeah, a kind of listening station in the confession booth. This should prove once and for all that he's spying for Mother Superior. The question is whether we can somehow use this knowledge against him.
Lily actually had an idea. She would lock Garrett in his secret room. She could hardly wait to tell her best friend all about it.
Wait, I know. What if we locked Garrett in his secret surveillance room? Just pretend you want to give confession, and when he's in his hiding place, wham! Our trap will snap shut on him. Oh, don't be sad, Lily. I'm sure you'll come up with a good idea next time. But for now, let's get to work. It was my plan, so now you have to set it in motion. Cool, so you've been working on your imitating animal voices number. You can tell me about it later, okay? First, we have to get rid of Garrett. I'm sure he's spying for Mother Superior. Wait a minute. What's that? Do you hear those noises too? I think someone's drilling inside the chapel. It's probably just Frank looking for evidence of a church conspiracy again. Dang! That could ruin our plans. If Garrett can't listen in on you, we won't be able to lock him in his hiding place. You have to think of something to get rid of Frank. Did you happen to find the plans for my time machine? They weren't finished yet anyway. How big is the microwave oven in the school cafeteria? Forget it. That won't work. And all my other ideas are a little complicated. We don't have time for them. I guess the easiest thing to do would be to help him with his search. Once Frank has found what he's looking for, he'll hopefully stop drilling. Not so loud. Dr. Marcel's ears are everywhere. If you listen closely, you can even hear the wind blowing in his ear hairs. That guy is no joke, but you know the rumors, so watch out for him. He is evil. Evil. I'm sorry that I can't help you, but I can't risk Dr. Marcel finding me. You know what they say about him. It's all true. Except the story with the orangutan. I made that one up.
Lily, nice to see you. I hope Shawnee didn't upset you too much. He's an idiot. I think you're great, just as you are.
Lily's heart skipped a beat. This might have been the nicest thing anyone ever said to her. The school clock was out of reach. Once again, her arms were too short and her line too long. The school clock was out of reach. The gargoyle was out of reach. Once again, her arms were too short and her line too long. The gargoyle was out of reach. Once again, her arms were too short and her line too long. The gargoyle seemed to worry about its companion, but it also didn't lift a finger to stop it from falling. Typical. The gargoyle had lost its balance long ago. Only a thin rope was stopping it from falling. Why didn't it just give up? The gargoyle was out of reach. Once again, her arms were too short and her line too long. Lily certainly wouldn't be able to get the firecrackers off the statue like that. Once again, her arms were too short and her line too long. Firecrackers. How did they ever get up there?
You seem so tense. Is something wrong?
Lily would have liked to tell him her troubles, but she didn't want to give Edna away.
Well, if you need anything, I'm always there for you. I worry about you, you know.
Hey, don't touch it. That's my old Boy Scout equipment. Only certified Boy Scouts are allowed to touch it.
It didn't make for a very good weapon. Lily had seen in a picture book men in funny costumes loading their muskets with little balls. Ever since then, she'd been secretly practicing these movements at night.
Hey, don't touch it. That's my old Boy Scout equipment. I might be old, but I can tell you stories that'll make your ears ring. Some of them are about my old Boy Scout equipment, but Only certified Boy Scouts are allowed to touch it. So get your hands... Oh.
As long as no one forbade her, Lily would keep everything she found on her, even if she might not have enough space in her pockets.
Oh, a visitor. What a rare animal. The hawk. But I don't mean the remake. I mean the original with extra ketchup, please. How rude of me. I forgot to tell you, how it used to be. When the pyramids were built, I was the chief flogger on the north side. Yes, in my life I've unified. Unified Tibet, I said. Back then I served as a carpet beater under 3 different Dalai Lamas. For one of them, I was even there as a rebirth assistant in the maternity ward. It was very different from the year I was an interior decorator for the Mayas. Build a mythical sliding puzzle here, hide a few artifacts in dark alcoves over there. Oh yes, I was building secret crypts when you were still in the indie band Inquisition Overload. But it flopped, unfortunately. The time wasn't right for that kind of music. Plus, our drummer had the plague. I got old. So old that all I'm good for now is as an exhibition piece for history I'll get to that in a moment. First, I wanted to tell you, telling stories takes a lot of skill. That's why I worked for a while as an exhibition piece for history class in a convent school. I just had to tell stories about my adventures once a week. For example, how I used to excavate secret crypts with the Templars below the school chapel. Or about my time as a lighting assistant for the moon landing. What? I must have dropped off for a moment. But I was just going to tell you an exciting story from my past. Was it the story of how I tried to navigate to Cape Town and ended up discovering the Eurasian continent? Oh, I know. I wanted to tell you how I helped the Templar Knights build the convent chapel, right? I was particularly happy because I had eaten a banana. Or was I sad because all there was to eat was coconuts again? No, the coconuts were when the Trojan mayor gave me the key to the city for my heroic valor. Or was my heroic valor while building dikes in Atlantis? But I think I had an apple that day. Wasn't I a little more sleepy in Atlantis? And angry while building the chapel? Oh, what poppycock. I'm getting everything mixed up. Fortunately, I created a memory aid just for this anecdote, so that I'd remember the location of the secret crypts below the convent chapel. Uh-oh. Someone tidied up the shelf. That's where the objects for my 3 E's should be. Emotion, engagement, and eating. Now I can't make a fool of myself. Now let's see. No fear. I haven't forgotten your earlier question. On the contrary, I'm known for remembering everything all the time. This is thanks to a little trick I learned from an old Chinese mason long ago. All I need is a memory aid, like objects that remind me of the 3 E's. The first E stands for emotion. It tells me whether I was sad, happy, or angry in that situation. The second E stands for engagement. It reminds me of whether I overcame the situation with strength, heroic courage, or sleepiness. The third E stands for eating. To remember, I have to know which fruit I ate that day. Vitamins are good for the... I know exactly what you're looking for. An instructive story about my time with the Templar Knights. Unfortunately, my memory aid is still missing a few important pieces. If I only knew what the 3 E's for this story were. But right now, all I can remember are a few vague associations. 4, to be precise. As everyone knows, each different food creates exactly one emotion and promotes one characteristic. For example, I was never sad if I'd packed a few apples, because they always helped me be very strong. I could only do heroic deeds on days when I wasn't sad. On the other hand, if I was angry, I could never show great strength. Coconuts were always good at preventing sleepiness. On this one specific day when I was helping the Templars, I was neither happy about an apple nor angry about a banana. But I also wasn't sad about a banana or happy about a coconut. What's the matter, sweetheart? Did you forget your question? Here's a small tip. Just try to remember the 3 E's. The first E stands for emotion. It tells me whether I was sad, happy, or angry in that situation. The second E stands for engagement. It reminds me of whether I overcame the situation with strength, heroic courage, or sleepiness. The third E stands for eating. To remember, I have to know which fruit I ate that day.